Morning VC, Sunday morning in the UK, glorious weather, and I want to share with you an acquisition I've made this week. Let me just turn this off so you can hear properly. What's playing in the background is Rosalita by Bruce Springsteen from the Wild Innocent E Street Shuffle, and I acquired this week. The significance of this is that it's the first 12-inch single ever released by Bruce in 1979, and it's pre The River, and it's got Rosalita and two other songs, Racing in the Street from Dance on the Edge of Town and Night from Born to Run. So it covers three albums. Only released in Holland, and this is seriously hard to get hold of. And I'll tell you what I know about this. It is, there are none on, at the time of recording, there's none on the UK eBay. I think you might be able to get a couple internationally, but it was released with a poster as well. So if you can get hold of this with the poster, mint condition, it will go for, I've seen one go for €350. You know, about £300. It is a seriously rare piece. There's a slight amount of water damage on it, but it's not serious at all. And then the vinyl itself is it's excellent condition, probably towards mint, and it was recorded in 33 1/3. Now, the ability to record it in 33 1/3 RPM rather than the previous 45 and prior to that for 78 was the fact that it allowed albums to be made because you could fit more on. However, when you do a 12-inch single in 33 1/3, it actually means that there's a massive amount of space for the grooves, and in fact you can almost see the space between grooves on this particular 12-inch, and the sound quality is outstanding. It really is excellent. It's an important song for us because it is a live staple of Bruce's, and the fact is that whenever he plays it live it gets a massive reception. But we used to listen to it when we were all about 18, 19. After a night out, it was the first thing we'd put on, you know. And a night out in the UK when you're 18, you have a few beers, if you like, of course. If you don't, it's not obligatory. But the most important thing about this 12-inch single is that it's actually a gift. It's VCLT, and it's from Rob Elovox, so it's more special than any other. Now, I did know that I was going to get a package. Rob did tell me sending 2 parcels, and got one last week which I showed you, and then this one I just did not know what to expect. But when I opened it up, it was something like that, and I thought that looks interesting. And when I realised that it was this, I was absolutely over the moon. And Rob put a little note in there which made me laugh out loud. It said, this has some water damage unfortunately, but it's very minor. He said it's a somewhat rare item, and I thought you might like having it in your collection. That was a massive understatement. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic, Rob. So the interesting thing is that it originally, and this one might not have had a poster, but the very first run of these had a poster in it, and I was reminded by something Rob Panique said in his video the other day. I was reminded that when you used to get posters in records, you usually stuck them on the wall, and that is why it's so hard to find them now from the 70s. And what really made me laugh was Rob said that he used to have a Japanese version of Houses of the Holy with an OBI strip on it, but he took the strip off the record and put it on his school book, and you can imagine the purists now being aghast at him doing that. But that's what we did. I've got a Marillion 12-inch single that should have a poster in. I can't find it anywhere. But that was the first thing that was in the package. The second thing was this, which is a promo copy of Born in the USA. It says on here, for promotion only, ownership reserved by CBS, sale is unlawful. Well, I didn't buy it. And again, it's in 33 1/3, so the actual sound quality is absolutely fantastic. And then the third record that was in there is this, called Cover Me. Now, I have seen this before. I think the UK version is different. It's more of a brown cast, whereas this is blue, but it actually came out, was brought out by CBS to try and ride the wave of Bruce's success with Born in the USA, which came out in '84. This was '86, and it actually collects a series of cover versions, but they're not obvious cover versions, or they're songs that Bruce wrote for other people. So there's a track on there by Southside Johnny called Talk to Me, which is one of my favourites, and produced by Miami Steve. A lot of people don't know that Miami Steve originally was a founding member of Southside John and the Ashbury Dukes and was the principal songwriter. There's a song called Club Soul City which was written for Gary S. Bonds and is on the second album, On the Line. There's also This Little Girl, which was on the first album, Dedication. Fever, Southside Johnny, Because of the Night by Patti Smith. This is Hearts of Stone, one of my favourite Southside Johnny songs, again written by Bruce. But I've just really enjoyed listening to these. I'm absolutely over the moon with them. I've run out of superlatives, I think, to actually describe how I feel about getting this. The first package was excellent. It was a press pack of a Little Steven, and I thought Rob couldn't find anything else, but this, I was just blown away by the generosity of this, and it's something I've dwelt upon about the VC and the fact that people do. I go looking now with other people in mind, and clearly Rob has gone looking, and these weren't hanging around in his garage or something like that. He went out and bought these for me, and I'm so appreciative of that. If you've ever had VCLT package from Rob, you'll know he puts a few little extras in, and as usual there are a few things in there, cards, etc., which I've been reading through with interest. There's a small photograph of Bruce and Clarence, no longer with us, but then there were the final thing that was in the package, which again just blew me away. It was 4 8x10 glossy photographs, and I love them, and I was too busy thinking about what I was going to do with them to actually even mention it when I sent Rob a message. So thank you again, Rob. I just want to finish by showing you these photographs because I've framed them and they just look outstanding. So if you'll just bear with me and let's just go and have a look at those. So as you know, VC, when we were doing the music room and creating it, I started doing putting a few photographs in frames, etc. As you can see there. We've got David Coverdale and a poster I got, and you'll know that I was talking to you the other week that I did get, I was trying to hide this because I want it to come in full effect, was a Magnum picture disc there, and then I did get this gold disc a couple of weeks ago, but I did frame up the photographs, and this is what I came up with, and I just think they look absolutely superb on the wall. So what I'll do is I'll show you them individually. That is Bruce. I reckon that's probably early 80s, could be the River Tour. That's a bit later. That's mid 70s. That is probably around the time of Born to Run, being toured. And then that, I'm pretty certain, and we really like this photo, I'm pretty certain that's about the time of the River. But all in all, as you can see, they are just really nice to have. So again, Rob, thank you so much for sending those and the thoughtfulness of doing it. Words fail me sometimes to express what I feel about a lot of the people in the friendship that is in the VC, and it's not just Rob that I feel that about. There's a lot of people, but on this occasion it was Rob that sent me this package, and I'm so appreciative of it. So once again, Rob, thanks very much, and take care, everybody else.